This is RAF Lossiemouth on the Moray Firth in Scotland, and for the last 2 weeks it's been a key part of exercise Joint Warrior, involving 14 different nations and personnel from the Royal Navy, the Army and the Royal Air Force. It is the last major exercise for British forces before the publication of the Defence Review.
The exercise scenario places fictional nation against fictional nation, but after years of fighting against insurgents in Afghanistan, is it training for the wrong war?
Is there any place for this kind of expensive, big-scale exercise?
Well, the exercise, the scenario has been written specifically to incorporate a full range of warfare. So a lot of the training for forward air controllers, for example, is not in a state-on-state. It's in a local counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency sort of scenario. There will be elements that fit into a peacekeeping scenario. So we've got the full spectrum of war.
The Tornadoes are taking off to tackle a naval battle group off the Scottish coast. Cold War history, or still an important military capability?
Coordinating state-on-state, it's not required very often, although it has been required in the last 20 years, say 4 or 5 occasions. But it is by far away the most complex and demanding of the scenarios that we have to deal with and have to be able to plan and operate in. So, as an insurance policy, it's you get third party instead of comprehensive if you don't do it.
The British jets are heading north, flying with them are Swedish Gripens.
Well, if you want a sense of the international nature of Joint Warrior, here at Cape Wrath is a pretty good vantage point. Here I've got US Marines who've been calling in British Apache helicopters. Out there we've got ships from the Royal Navy and the Greek Navy. And up here, these Royal Artillery Commandos, well, they're about to call in some Swedish fast air.
Well, we're now in the exercise phase of Joint Warrior, and what we're doing today is conducting joint fires. So we're integrating attack helicopters, live air sorties and naval gunfire support. So we need to integrate them effectively so that the controller on the ground can achieve the effects he wants on the battle space.
So we obviously have to be able to see it to attack it, but we do have lasers to assist us to help us get range and stuff like that.
It's the only place where we can integrate attack helicopters, fighters, naval gunfire support in the whole of the UK, and in fact probably throughout the world. So in terms of learning lessons for Afghanistan, it's absolutely vital.
We all have the same objective, which is, keep our buddies safe and destroy the enemy. So we try and share that information. How can we best do it? And there's a lot of stuff that the UK JTACs do that I've liked and I've adopted, and I think there's a lot of stuff that we do that they like.
Everybody's got their own way to do things. It poses different challenges depending on everybody's proficiency and how often they get to do it, but just work with it and get through it.
Our unit specializes basically in working with non-Marine Corps units. You can't get more foreign than the Marine Corps than this. We're working with a Greek ship currently. We worked with Dutch, Royal Navy, Swedish fixed-wing aircraft. This is our bread and butter. This is what we need to really specialize in, and obviously it's very difficult back in California. The best we get is maybe U.S. Army.
We're never going to be working by ourselves, and to understand how the Americans work, understand how, for them to understand how we work is absolutely vital. So we have Americans and Brits working here completely integrated and working together throughout this exercise.
The Strategic Defence and Security Review won't change the need for Britain's armed forces to work and to train with other nations. What it might alter is the sort of missions that the Royal Navy, the Army and the Royal Air Force are able to undertake. Jeff Maskell, Forces News, Scotland.